think I tweeted a couple days ago saying this is the tightest you've really seen it at the top with a lot of these squads. All right, now let's have a little bit more fun with this. How'd it feel for you to beat Mr. Patrick Price? You guys have a history. 3 years. Whew, that's all right. So let's talk a little bit about what was, I guess, kind of the squad. How do you feel? How was communication when the pressure was really on? You guys obviously muster up the strength to win the round 11, also take in overtime. What was the communication like with the squad?
We've ever played. I was really surprised with how well we played it, and I was really proud of that because especially with losing both hard points at Season 2 playoffs, we made a couple questionable plays that we were trying to overthink a little too much and not give ourselves enough time. We wasted a couple specialists, and I wasn't doing my job too well on that map, but we ended up pulling it out due to Zuma just absolutely being the S&D. Doing really well, we were controlling the pace of the game, and then all of a sudden they're in our base spawn trapping us, but we were able to get that dunk in overtime and then force them to make a one, and you know they didn't have enough time. So it's one of those things. We played really close. We could have played a lot better, especially playing cold. They're a newly formed team. You expect to perform a little better, but a 3-0, you can't ask for much better than that.
Exactly. It was close, but it was a 3-0. You won every map. You took it. It's a good start to what I think is the hardest group. I know they're all tough, but it's a good start to the group. But hey, thanks, buddy. Good stuff thus far. But now to break that one down further, we'll toss it back over to the desk.
Thank you very much. For me, at least, that wasn't necessarily FaZe playing very well. It just seemed as if there was a pretty big mistake that came in, and that was the use of the lightning strike that we saw from Lacefield.
Yeah, no, FaZe was definitely slaying well. They were grinding it out and doing what they had to do, but that could have been easily COL's game if when Lacefield had that lightning strike going down the street, he decided to push top rock and then use his kinetic, and then he ended up getting destroyed by attach. But if he uses that lightning strike when he saw the ball going down that street, you use that lightning strike, you probably take out 2 on the street. There's no cover for them to hide. You pop the kinetic and you slay out into that base. That could have been a 2-point to a 1-point play. It could have changed the game instead of going to overtime. So FaZe definitely played good. They slayed well. Like I said, Zuma, I think Clay did really well too. And then you saw Enable using that, but they could have lost that. But I mean, a win is a win.
Any key moments from you, team?
The biggest thing for me that I continue to see from some of these pro teams, FaZe did it for a good 45 seconds on the map, is controlling Graveyard. I don't think teams put enough emphasis on staying alive when you are on the other team's half of the base. If you stay alive and get the one-off, see a lot of time from Complexity, they would invest everything into a push to maybe get a one-pointer, go all 4 dead, and that's what gave FaZe the middle map control most of the game. So.
And then going into overtime, it looked maybe it was going to be pretty close. FaZe making a pretty bold but correct decision to go for that 2-point play, and then really
getting the important kills on the map. It gave all of FaZe map control, and they were just able to make some plays. So I mean, just little key mistakes from Complexity.
Talk a little bit about Clayster as well. We obviously heard from him at the very end of their replays. Seems pretty comfortable. FaZe kind of normally start off a little slow, a little shaky in the group, so it's good for them to start 3-0. But were you specifically impressed by Clay, or was it more the rest of the guys?
I mean, I think the entire team played pretty well. I think Zuma and Clay probably played the best out of that entire series. Probably Zuma, in my opinion. But still, Clay has been playing so consistently these last few events, and I think he's finally getting into that Clayster mode, especially right before XP coming up and all that kind of stuff. He's definitely getting into that mode where he's becoming unstoppable. He's very good with the Shiba. He's found some weapons of choice. He's been doing very well. So I think he's confident, and that's the scary side for other teams.
I feel like at this point, you know, Mike, you brought it up. Like, you've watched him play pre this tournament. You know he's going to run the Shiva. He seems to be very, very efficient with it. Is that now something that all the rest of the teams that potentially FaZe going to play are going to say, hey, we should probably ban out the Shiva?
I don't know. When you look at their next matchup versus Rise, I mean, Octane likes to use it as well. So if there's a huge question mark if you let it go through, is that going to be like it's going to be a huge battle? Like, that's, to me, that's like the matchup is Clay versus Octane for that series.
Okay. In terms of Complexity, haven't really talked too much about them. TP, I'm going to go to you for this one. Impressed by what you saw at points, or was it just...
They look new. Accuracy needs to step up. Wasn't comfortable at all. Lacefield as well. There's so many situations where you're literally watching them play, and they looked not necessarily confused, but unsure of the snap decision that they need to make, unfortunately.
Let's hear a look at how the series panned out. 250 to 171 in Breach, round 11 Fringe S&D, and then of course Infection Uplink going all the way through to that overtime as well. So good start for FaZe. Are you feeling comfortable replays from what you saw from them, or is it again just a bit of a slow start?
I mean, FaZe is kind of historically known to have that slow start, and with a single limbo in the previous events, that obviously does not favor them. So having a slow start here is something that it's not too big of a problem, but they do have a very, very tough match coming up. So if they're going to have to play better than they just played here to take on a team like Rise.
That's going to be one of our primetime games as well later on in the day.
Yeah.
But of course, before we get there, we have another game on main stage. I believe the guys are just getting set up. We're going to see the European. Well, their new name is
Ground Zero.
Ground Zero.
Yes, sir.
So Ground Zero. That should be an exciting game. Of course, I know the Europeans are going to be happy about that. Infuse won their first game in a game
Thriller,
5,
yes.
round 11.
They were down 5-3.
Typical Europe, man. They just never make it easy. Like, come on, man. Like, just make it easy. We'll have to wait and see there for the next game. For now, though, quick commercial break. We're back.